Well, after 4 years, there's no more escaping it, right, Hardcore?
Unless you've got a Ford Mustang with 350 Stangs under the hood, then nope.
Alright, fine. Even though this was originally supposed to be a compilation induction with some of the smelliest moments, I guess it kind of needs to be given the full treatment. Alright, roll the intro.
Hey America, don't get up.
I'm Wendy Williams, welcome to Love Triangle.
Now we're always looking for the name of the famous person, place, or thing in our puzzle.
Then you will win this. From Big W, it's a shopping spree, Rita.
And welcome everybody to Game Show Garbage. I'm Robert Seidelman.
And I'm the hardcore kid. Hardcore enough to review kid stuff. Now get to it, chubby.
In 1989, when Double Dare and Finders Keepers were succeeding in syndication, Nickelodeon needed to add some more original programming.
Now!
Fine, think fast!
Think Fast came at a weird time at Nickelodeon, especially in the game show department. In early 1989, the only two game shows they had were Double Dare and Finders Keepers, and they were either in syndication or on Fox. So the higher-ups told producer Jeffrey Darby to create another show for them to put on the air.
And so, in a short matter of time, we're given Think Fast, a show that mixes all the physical challenges of Double Dare together, but this time, the stunts have more of a mental challenge to them instead of the physical matter of Double Dare's challenges. However, that's pretty much the high point of the show, since most of the time, nobody knows what's going on, not even the hosts.
Especially the viewer in the first season, since the show was basically taped on a very small soundstage, so they had to use really obvious edits to get around that fact.
Where the heck are they filming this? A broom closet or a shoebox?
Either that or on the inside of Tim Tebow's head.
The second season was a very nice upgrade, now looking like the inside of a school rather than an actual game show studio. The set had the opposite problem of the original, though. While the old set was too small, this set was way too big. Everything is too spread out, and it just feels so hollow and empty.
I should explain this was the same soundstage that Super Sloppy Double Dare used during their run at Universal Studios. I'm guessing it was cheaper to use that soundstage instead of renting a smaller one that would be more beneficial to the show's needs. Honestly, I kind of prefer the Carrington set. Sure, it was small, but you got to see the audience and it just flowed better edited than unedited.
Speaking of Carrington, here is the first host of the show, Michael Carrington. He was a comedian and voice actor, and could be found in a lot of television commercials.
Thankfully for us, his entrances were nothing more than showing off his multicolored Converse shoes and waving at the camera like a goof. The way he would read the rules were reflected on how the audience at home was during the show.
Here's how we play Think Fast. Our two teams will compete in a variety of games that challenge the mind as well as the body. It's so complicated I can barely tell you about it.
Even the adult Steve Urkel agrees with the viewers that this is too confusing. I mean, we're both adults, and we've watched these reruns for years. Just think how confused the kids who watched this were when this originally aired in 1989. As for Carrington's hosting, he was alright. He had a somewhat good understanding of what was going on, and knew when to vamp when he had to.
And this is Skip Lackey, arguably one of the worst game show hosts of all time. I already took care of him in a written article back in 2010, but the ultimate reason why I hated him so much was this.
And now, here's the host of Think Fast, a man who's as smart as Albert Einstein and a much better dancer, Skip Lackey! Oh, doing the buzz! Oh, welcome everybody, welcome to Think Fast. All right, how you guys doing today? Let's hear it! Yeah! And thank you, Henry J., for that wonderful introduction. I just had to give a little do in the butt to show you that I can dance.
We got the same one, didn't we, Hardcore?
I did.
Alright, roll it.
I got passion in my pants and I ain't afraid to
sexy and I know it. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah, yeah. Do the wiggle, man. I do the wiggle, man. Yeah. I'm sexy and I know it.
Okay, here's the quick synopsis on Skip Blackie. He couldn't ad-lib anything, he relied too heavily on the cue cards, and he had to be told basically what to do even when it was blatantly obvious what was happening on the screen. In short, he couldn't get anything right.
Now on to the actual show itself. Instead of watching the second host acting like a gigantic butt dumpling, the majority of the show was spent doing stunts, or as the show calls them, events. Like if they were some big meaning to them besides being more elaborate than Double Dare stunts at the time.
There are usually 5 events in a show, 6 if 2 of them go by quick. Unlike Double Dare and Funhouse, whose challenges were mainly physical, Think Fast used more mental challenges. One that they loved to do involved either Michael or Skip talking to some weird individual, like Flexi, man of the future.
Hang on, if he's supposed to be a man of the future, then why is he dressed up like a pilot from that crappy Thunderbirds show from England? Oh no. Ah yes, the Amazing Thunderbirds, a classic show, far superior than that drivel that you consider high quality. A masterpiece of cinematography that was unjustly attacked by those miscreants on Mystery Science Theater 3000. It was glorious how those magnificent marionettes were so lifelike in their adventures against anybody who would oppose the crown and her royal majesty. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Rubbishman? Ho-ho! You shot British guy?
Well, it looks like he didn't think fast enough.
As I was getting at before that British twat decided to interrupt, a good chunk of the games were some costume stagehand ringing off a cue card of their story and some interesting factoids that the contestants would have to remember. Because, after all that,
Carrington or Lackey would pepper the contestants with questions relating to the drivel that they had just heard. I have to give them credit here. At least they believe that the kids don't have attention spans the size of peas, and this is actually a good use of the mental stunt.
another one of the more mental stunts was the follow the pattern variety. The show at this time had 4 of them in various forms, and all the stunts were the same. One contestant either pats an uncle, puts a topping on a big bowl of ice cream, hits a button on a 10-foot tall telephone, or throws a balloon full of colored paint at their partner.
Then their opponent has to pat that same uncle, and then pat another uncle, put the same topping on a big bowl of ice cream, and then put another topping on a big bowl of ice cream, hit the same button on a 10-foot tall telephone pole, and then hit another one, then hit another button, and finally throw the same balloon full of colored paint at their partner, then throwing another balloon full of colored paint at their partner. Repeat said processes until somebody screws up. My God, I mean, the paint catcher one is mildly entertaining, but the events are just boring. Hey, if I was still a kid in the 90s, I'd be waiting for Global Guts, Legends of the Hidden Temple, and Double Dare to come on. By the way, Robert, how many more varieties of stunts do we have to suffer through?
Way too many. The variety is nice, but not when all the stunts are flat boring, which clearly was the producer's intentions. So far, the stunts have been unmitigated disasters. And speaking of unmitigated disasters...
The absolutely worst produced stunt of this entire series, including the Lackey season, were these games involving tumbler drums, where they would put either a color, number, word, or part of a bad guy's face, and then stagehands would spin them around at uneven speeds. Contestants would then buzz in and give the right combination for the point, and hopefully for the game.
Is that up there? Let's take a look. 983 ice cream soda. Ice cream up. Ice best up. Ice it up. Ice it up. Ice suede up. You ever have ice suede? It's really tasty. Ice spot up. Ice cream up. What? No. Ice cream soda. What was the last one, the number? Other way. Other way. Well, it'll come around again. There we go. Ice cream soda.
You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Is this supposed to be entertaining? Why would I even want to watch this?
Well, I honestly don't know. Maybe they thought they could air anything and get 200,000 or so viewers for it, and kids will flock to watch it. I mean, it's probably the exact same thinking that makes crap like iCarly and all that with Britney Spears' much less talented pregnant sister get a whole bunch of viewers. It's just bad thinking at its worst.
Maybe getting back to the format will make this better. The winner of the event gets a shot at the Brain Bender, which also has a lot of varying formats as well. It could either be a Rebus puzzle, a photo of a common object zoomed in, a famous person, objects in common, amongst other things. Getting this right would win them $200.
Basically, winning the Brain Bender gets you the game, which is one of the major faults of this show. Everything is just so unbalanced. You could stink it up all throughout the show and be down $250 to nothing come the final stunt. Then you win it and get the Brain Bender, and by doing mostly nothing, get to go to the bonus games and finally win some prizes. By the way, Robert, how is the bonus game played?
40 seconds on the clock for Marla, please. Good luck. Off you go.
1, 2,
No match.
4, 5,
No match.
7, 1.
Oh, sorry about that, Hardcore. That's the wrong DVD. But it's still the same game.
Yes, the Locker Room bonus game is a direct lift from Classic Concentration's card game, just with a couple of variants. The Carrington version had this format. The first person of the winning team had to find matches. A locker room door would open and the contestant would have to find the matching pair. Once the match is found, they would have to run to the starting point and hit a button to close up all the doors, and the process repeats. The wrinkle that is added is that hidden in one of the 15 lockers is the time bomb, which is said to go off after 20 seconds. If the contestant finds it, they'll either get 30 seconds or 40 seconds for their partner, depending on the mood of the producer. If it goes off, they only get 20 seconds for their partner to make the rest of the matches they don't get.
While it's an interesting variant on Classic Concentration's game, it's just too poorly executed. The time bomb threw off more contestants, and there's one little thing the contestants do that breaks the bonus game. The contestants could just run from end to end, opening up the doors and seeing what's behind everything. This also gets the time bomb deactivated and easily gets them all the prizes that there are to offer. So hopefully in the Skip Lackey season, they'd have this fixed. Did they?
No! 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 No!
It still had the same old problems. However, instead of the time bomb, each contestant having 30 seconds, which probably was the reason why the show had a lot of bonus round winners for Carrington's season. For Skip's season, each contestant took turns finding the mate. They had 60 seconds to get all 7. So we're back to the tired old trope of 60 seconds to glory. Now instead of the time bomb, there was something else.
Your bike was stolen by that no-good neighborhood bully and thief, Red Herring.
At last, Freddy actually got it right. The Red Herring was a person that had no match whatsoever. So when it was revealed the contestant had to pull the herring handle to dump fish on him and close the door and find another match, the first 4 were worth $100 and the last 3 were worth prizes of increased value. So, in short, it was the same bonus game, just made a little more streamlined and harder. Despite the facelift, it doesn't change the simple fact that it was basically a lift of this.
That's a match.
11, 6,
That's a match.
12, 14!
That's a match.
And that's Think Fast. At its core, it's nothing more than bits and pieces from Classic Concentration and Funhouse. Is it the worst game show of all time? No, not really. I mean, you saw Viewer On and $1,000 B. Is it any good? I really can't say that either. Aside from the Ed Kaloff music package, which is pretty much one of the best ones he's ever done, you're just better off watching the original parts of Funhouse and Classic Concentration.
I remember I got to watch a few reruns on the now defunct Nick Gas in the early 2000s, and next to Finders Keepers and Make the Grade, it was one of the shows that I frequently skipped, because I just thought it was too boring and confusing. If you want to watch classic game shows from Nick, then hey, say what I said before, watch Guts, or Legends of the Hidden Temple, or Double Dare, and avoid this. Don't even think about watching this. Think fast, and you may get a hardcore headache.
Well, that does it for this show. I'm Robert Seidelman, and it's time for me to start working on the weenies. This is gonna suck this year. God, why does every year get worse and worse?
I'm the hardcore kid. Until next time, peace out.
You